2005. And that moment devastated me. I mean, completely and totally, you all get it. I'm talking to my family. And what you do with that is all different, right? Everybody grieves differently, everybody reacts differently, everybody responds in a different way. And even if you're married, your spouse responded differently. If you have other children, they responded differently. Everybody responds differently. One of the things that happened to me was I started to look for connections with other people who might be going through this as well, because my healing came in talking to other families. So I began to meet families that preceded me, and I began to go to funerals of families that were happening ahead of me, and meeting these families and talking to them and spending time with them and saying, call me. I thought everybody was doing that. It was just a natural thing to do. But I found out later that wasn't happening. I guess it was in my crazy brain. But I started just getting to know more and more families and then saying, hey, let's all have dinner together. And this was, a while ago, as I say, 18 years ago this year, unfortunately. But one of the things that I heard over and over from families that was common, a common thread, right, is that no one wanted their loved one to be forgotten. That was it. They did not want their loved one to be forgotten. And it didn't matter how they weren't forgotten, right? So that's why many families, and you're a small percentage of the thousands of families that are out there, who are starting scholarship funds, having 5Ks, doing golf tournaments, having post offices named, roads named, bridges named, anything we can do to have our loved one's name up there so that everybody can see it. We do that, it's natural, we don't want them forgotten. But we all can't do it. There's only so many bridges in the country. There's only so many roads. There's only so many ways that we can all individually add our name, loved one's name to something, right? And then only some of us are going to do it, right? Those of us who are really type A and really want to get out there and don't mind being an extrovert, but we're not all like that. So many of us, including myself, believe it or not, I'm a very big introvert. Many of us do nothing. And I call it silently screaming, because we want to, we wish we could, but we don't. So there's a population of us, a large population of us, that just sit in our grief and don't talk about it. But what's that one thing? We still don't want them to be forgotten. So this is where my brain was, and I really, very emotional for me, as you might expect. So I thought, what is the greatest thing that could happen in this country for those who are losing their loved ones in military service? National remembrance. A way to get everybody sent a message so they get it without any miscommunication or misinterpretation. They know somebody remembers, right? National remembrance. What does that look like? Well, I thought it needed to be a symbol. I mean, we have our gold star pins, our next of kin pins, we have our gold star banners, but those are our designations. They designate who we are to each other and to our neighbors, right? You wear this to let people know I lost someone. Nobody else can wear this. Nobody else can hang up that banner in their window, because it sends a very specific message. So I needed to think about something that sent a message to you, not you sending a message outward, but that created a way to send something that you understood, that sent you a comfort, a message of comfort. And so short story, the Honor Remember flag was created to become that national symbol, not because you need it, but because the rest of the nation needs it. They need a way to be thankful for your sacrifice. Not just your loved ones, they're gone. You're still here, and you need to know that you are still thought about. Now, the next step in that was, okay, so I created the Honor Remember flag. I'll show you that in a minute. The next step was I needed to know whether I was crazy or not. I mean, this is just me grieving, crying inside, going, somebody's got to give a damn. But I don't see anything out there that shows me that. So I wanted to have the blessing of the mothers. Believe it or not, I was married to one, right? I knew what she went through when she bore our son, and she raised our son, and she lost our son, right? I knew her heart. So I intentionally created this flag for the mothers. This was my mindset. The first thing I did after the flag was unveiled on Memorial Day of 2008 was I sought out mothers because I wanted to make sure I was going down the right path. And so in my Google searching, I found the American Gold Star Mothers. And I went, I need to contact them. There's a whole organization of mothers. And if I could reach them and show them what I was doing, then maybe I would be validated in knowing I was going in the right direction. And so I reached out. I wrote an email to one of the board officers at that time, Molly Morrell. I don't know if you know Molly or not. She's not with the organization now. The then president of the organization was Georgie Krell. And so I asked for an audience, if you will, because I didn't know. I mean, this was all new to me. So my wife and I drove up to Washington, D.C. in September, the third Sunday of September, right? And the board was meeting for their annual board meeting. And I will tell you, I was nervous as all get out because I had put everything into the creation of something that I hoped would be accepted, and not just accepted, but embraced and grateful for, because nothing existed. And so I, just nervously sat down in the board when it was my turn, and I shared my vision. And it just so happens that I had brought 2 personalized flags that day, and I gifted Georgie a flag in honor of her son, and I gifted Molly a flag in honor of her son. And coincidentally, which I didn't know until later that day, was on that very day, the very first bill to make Honor and Remember a national symbol was introduced the day I gave them their 2 flags. And the very first time in 2008. So coincidental, I don't know. I didn't even know it was happening, but it happened. And so right after that, the board who was there, Molly, Georgie, Bruce Stone-Cipher, Mary Byers, Barb Bernard, these may be names that are familiar to you. They were all part of the national board 15 years ago. And so it has been my privilege since that moment to every year come and address the American Gold Star Mothers, to share my vision, to present flags as I do every day. We present on the average of 1 flag every day. Over the course of those 15 years, I would say that Georgie was probably the 10th flag that was ever presented, the 10th. We are now almost at 5,000. So the amount of flags that we presented over the years. And so why am I here? I'm here because you're my family. I'm here because I hope that this gift for you will be well received. And whether or not you like it, when you see it flying across America, you know it's for you. That you have been given a specific message of thanks for all that you have done and the grieving that you will continue to do until you pass. And so I love you, and I just am blessed by those who allow me to come and share with you, and you're all, so many of you are so close friends with me. Some of you I've known from the very beginning, and I'm so grateful. So, I'm done flopping my gums, but it is my privilege, as always, to present 2 flags at the President's pleasure to 2 moms here who had not previously been given a flag. And so, as I said before, they're a surprise, and I am going to give the microphone to Sarah, and then you'll see who it's given.
My special friend Mary Piker, will you please come forward?
What I'm holding as Mary's coming up is a tri-folded honor and remember flag. This flag is folded in a triangular configuration because it mirrors this American flag that was reverently and respectfully taken from the casket and folded and handed to her to be put in a shadow box where it would remain forever. But the honor and remember flag is folded this way one time as a reminder, but not as a sad and somber reminder of his loss, but as really a celebration of his life. Once this flag is unfolded, it's never to be folded this way again. So we give honor to her, and Sarah's going to read the certificate.
This honor and remember flag is presented with eternal gratitude and respect in memory of Major Benjamin Reckla. With this flag, we honor this patriot's unwavering dedication and remember their selfless sacrifice. By displaying this symbol collectively as a nation, we humbly recognize the enormity of your loss and respectfully say, so the next flag.
I'm shocked. All I can say is that my heart goes out to every single one of you and all of your stories. I have a story, but I've only been here a short time now, and I've already heard some happy stories of what our kids did. But I've also heard the pain. And so thank you for coming up with this. This is wonderful. And thank you for this. But it's not just about me. It's about all of us, and it's about our kids. And it's about all the people that support us. So, and it's about God. God is good. Mm-hmm.
The next flag we are going to present is to one of my dear friends. She's helped me out more than she knows. She helps me get in a little trouble too. And she is my dinner date this evening. Karen Alexander, please step forward. This honor and remember flag is presented with eternal gratitude and respect for Staff Sergeant Devin L. Schutte. With this flag, we honor this patriot's unwavering dedication and remember his selfless sacrifice. By displaying this symbol collectively as a nation, we humbly recognize the enormity of your loss and respectfully say, thank you.
Honor and remember. Remember is all we can do now. All we have is the memories. And with the American Gold Star Mothers, we can give back to the veterans and other people. We can share our stories, we can share our memories, and they'll live on forever. Thank you all.